And joining us now, Orange County, California Fire Chief Brian Fennessy. Chief, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Give us the latest there as the status of these fires that are still raging there in Southern California.
Yeah, the fires, are roughly, Palisades, I believe, is about 24,000 acres, and Eaton's holding at about 14,000 plus. There has not been significant growth in the last day, but per your report, certainly a lot of hot spots. And probably our biggest fear is that the winds have resurfaced. They're blowing very hard in Ventura, LA, Orange, and Riverside County. So, man, we're one ignition away from another disaster, sadly.
So speak to us, if you will, about what, if anything, can be done to sort of blunt the impact of these winds and just to the morale and frankly fatigue of your officers, of these firefighting personnel who have now been at this for days upon days upon days.
Yeah, you bet. There really is nothing, that humanly that we can do to prevent or stop these winds. The best we can do is, provide information in advance and have people, have their things ready to go and to evacuate right away. But, the Santa Ana winds are something that we're used to here in Southern California, but not at 80 mile an hour sustained or 100 mile an hour gusts. I mean, even at 40, 50 sustained and gusts, we have a long history of losing life and structure. So, the event last week was extraordinary, and as I've mentioned many times, that fire was unstoppable until the wind lightened up. We were not going to, get that fire. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered how many thousands of engines we had. That fire was going to go where it was going to go. In terms of the morale, firefighters are, optimistic, upbeat. They're on those fire lines and they're giving it all. But yes, we are seeing, signs of fatigue, and we have to be concerned. We, being the fire chiefs of these organizations, have to be concerned with the mental health of our firefighters when they return. They've been through something extremely traumatic, and I've seen a lot that maybe some of them haven't seen before. And so, we're prepared to deal with that as well. Their mental health is a top priority for us.
Well, Chief, we can't imagine how unbelievably difficult it has to be for you and the men and women that are giving their all here. I do want to ask you a question about something you touched on before, and that is a lot of blame going around. That's what politicians do during times like these, and I'm sure we'll have after-action reports, and there will be people that we can blame. But I want to underline something that you said that I just don't know that people realize, and that is you're fighting a war right now that no fire department in America would be equipped to fight. From everything that I understand, it's just, again, the winds, the scale of the winds, the wildfire sweeping into urban areas. First of all, if you can expand on that, and secondly, if you have any suggestions right now, and it may be way too early, but what does a Manhattan Project look like for future firefighters to fight these savage conditions?
Well, you're absolutely right. And when I say, conditions that the fire was unstoppable, I mean, think about it. We know when hurricanes are going to make landfall. We don't always know where they're going to make landfall. Well, there's nothing we can do to stop those. Same with a tornado. I mean, we don't have, this is Mother Nature, showing us once again that she's in charge. And whether it's climate change or something else, I can tell you after 47 years of fighting fire and many, many, many Santa Ana wind fires where we've seen loss of life and destruction, this event last week was absolutely unique. In terms of technology, maybe, and that Manhattan Project, I really liked that term you used. The fire service here in California and throughout the West, are very engaged with innovators, technology. There's a program being developed, and I think the first satellite might have been launched already, but low orbit satellites. So a lot of effort on detection. On the response side, we have the Quick Reaction Force that was an innovative effort by myself, the county fire chief in Los Angeles and Ventura County. We have 3 large, helicopters that drop retardant at night, 3,000 gallons apiece, and they surge, and they've been involved in the fight. So we're trying to find unique ways to improve response from the air, and from the ground. But quite frankly, again, this was Mother Nature having her way, showing us once again. And when people are asking me, should we expect this again? I tell them yes, because every time we've had a 100-year fire, it's not a few years later before we have another 100-year fire. So I think this is an indicator that we can expect the same again in the future, sadly.
Orange County Fire Chief Brian Fennessy, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. We will stay in touch. Thank you.